Welcome to the build. As you can see, everyone, I'm onto a new model, and I got back in time. So the first two Vipers I made were the Mark II and then the Mark 7E. And on request, and because I also want this model, I went back in time in 1978, and I've done the Mark I Viper. As you can see on the screen over here, this is the miniature from the series. There is differences between the miniature from the series as well as the mock-up, the full size. And what I'm going to do in this video is just show the differences between the two that I can see. What I've incorporated, I try to make a bit of a mix between the full size and this and the miniature. The miniature has a lot more detail than the full size. So I'd say most of my idea was to go for the more detail. And make it as pleasurable to look at as what it was on screen. So as you can see over here, this is the miniature. I've got a couple of pictures open over here. Let's open a new one over here of the miniature. So as you can see, detail is high, a lot more panel lines than the full size, which I'll show you in a minute. So if I zoom in over here, you will see on this miniature there's a lot more detail in this area. On the engine, rear end of the engine, there's indentations. It's not very clear over here, but I'll show you more pictures in a while. Detail around the areas where the wings go into the engines, over here as well at the bottom. This section in front of the cockpit canopy, it's got strips, etc. It looks like railway tracks, little spots, etc. And the cannons also have more detail, and then the rear end has a lot more detail than the full size. So I'll go back here again. So these are all the pictures I collected that I could find of the miniature, and I built the model based on the miniatures, on the miniature, as well as some of the rear end on the full size. So yeah, sorry, you can see as well, detail, it's a lot higher, a lot more panel lines around this area on the wings. Here you can see clearly. So you've got these indentations, it's got an indentation on these two areas. So these little, looks like a bunch of nipples on the top as well. It's got these little things that stick out. Okay, there's one detail I did not include, that's a little exhaust on the back of each of these. They would not have worked in the mold, and they're very tiny, so I left them out. Okay, yeah. Okay, there's different sizes they've made. Smaller ones, obviously the larger ones I think they blew up. Start on picture. And these miniatures also had areas in the back where for lighting and for effects like you see over here. And here's a close-up of one of the miniatures rear ends. So metal around the edges. Okay, now for the full-size mock-up. So here's the rear end of the full size, and as you can see, it's the detail is there, but there's a lot of detail missing compared to the. We'll get it back to that one, to this one. There's a lot more detail missing, especially in these areas of the round detail bits and the top of these four pipes. Okay, even over here you see this is the full size, there's no indentations. Over here the details a lot less. Detail over here is very similar. I actually used this image as a backdrop to build the 3D model out of, so it's very accurate. Here's a side on view. Okay, so the other big difference is the intakes. Not that you need intakes in space, but there's the top of the full size, and you can see clearly that this area over here is a lot less detailed. There's no rail tracks, as I call them. Okay. So you see in this full size one, is the engine intakes are very square over there and on top. And if you look at the miniature, it's a lot rounder. And honestly, I prefer the rounder look. I just want to go to the next image. I'm going to zoom, it does not want to operate. Here we go. Okay, so if I go back here, you'll see, you can see in this one kind of it's a lot more rounder, these intakes, the edges. Here you can see it clearly. So this is a lot rounder, which looks nicer to me. This model is a lot bigger than the other two, not a lot longer than the Mark 7, but a lot more chunky, a lot more resin, a lot heavier. Weight I think comes in around about 2.8 kilograms metric. It's not a light model. So what I'll do in the next video is I'm going to go over the sections and the parts that need cleanup, because it was very complex to actually put this thing into a mold and mold it. So there were a couple of issues that were very easy to fix, but I want to point those out so you don't have a problem when you're building, and you can do a quick cleanup before you put it together, which is mostly screwing it together. Very little gluing is needed, even less than the other two, and you can literally take the whole model apart to pack it away for transport. Okay, so the next video I'll go over those issues, and then the one after that I'll show you how it goes together. Okay, so till the next one. Cheers.